Hello, hello, and welcome to Paint Minis Live. I'm your host, Bill T, coming at you from the Creation Cave. We're going to be working on Cal's Abyssal Dwarves once again. After a wonderful first session with James F. Keck and his party of adventurers yesterday, or last night. Yes, last night. If you haven't seen it, it was really kind of a fun little playthrough of a scenario for Blazing Sixes, his D6 centric role playing game system, which is really well thought out, and I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with everybody in the stream. A lot of friendly faces in there, some new friends, some old friends, some in between, and we had ourselves a great time out on the out in the wild, wild west. So I think that went really well, and I'm really excited to do again next week when we get to play another one of James's game. Well, another one of his games. Sorry, I had quite a long day. My brain's a little fuzzy. Anywho, but we're gonna be playing a different game from him, and that is gonna be a lot of fun. So be excited and pumped for that. Tomorrow night, Friday night, I've kind of been contemplating playing some more Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader, but that's going to depend on a couple of things. I'd like to play it with my friend Jack. We started that playthrough, dropped it at one point, and I'm hoping to pick it back up. It's just going to depend on if he's able to make it or not too. So I would like to do that Friday. Otherwise, we'll just push it back a week. It's all good. But we're trying to do all kinds of crazy shenanigans here at Paint Minis Live, and we're just gonna see what sticks. Hello again, Robert Phillips. Thanks for tuning in. Indeed, it was a fun game. I enjoyed myself quite a bit. And how did I like Dune 2? I thought that was some amazing cinematography. I'm not gonna lie. It is a pretty movie. It is a really pretty movie. However, apparently the theater that I went to didn't sell the popcorn bucket, the I guess iconic popcorn bucket now, but it's like it's for just AMC theaters, and I didn't go to an AMC theater. We went to kind of more of a local mom and pop joint for our viewing of Dune 2, which we had an absolute great time at. I wanted to get it. I thought about trying to go to like AMC and just buying the freaking thing, but I don't know. I wasn't gonna go out of my way. I'm seeing people huck them on eBay and stuff. I'm sure at some point the hype will drop off, and we'll start seeing people kind of lower their expectations on how much they're gonna try and scalp these buckets for. If I can find one for like cheap, I'll probably end up picking one up. But sadly, no popcorn bucket as of yet, which is just fine. There was a joke going around that I saw on the internet that was about dudes getting the popcorn bucket and requesting just butter with and hold the popcorn. So that was kind of funny. I saw that the other day, and I was like, oh my god. It sure is the wild, wild west out there. All right, I digress. Funny stuff in Doomed aside, I also have some cool stuff too. I have been kind of messing around with some turbo dork stuff with these dwarves, and I don't know why, but the thought popped into my head like, I should go check their stuff out one more time and just see if there's anything else that I kind of like on their site, because I like, supporting companies and especially model companies that are very customer centric and just try and make something really cool. And Turbo Dork definitely made something cool that caught my eye. So let's get the other camera up here too. This is the Turbo Dork silicone palette. I just kind of wanted to show this off because I got two of them just to test them out. This palette right here, maybe you can kind of tell. We'll do a little zoomy real quick here. It's got their name embossed on it here. Kind of some interesting patterned mixing wells in the middle, so you can take your 4 colors that are in this area and kind of mix them in the middle with some nice raised ridges. So that's pretty cool. I thought this was kind of an interesting product. It's a flexible silicone, so you can you can bend it and shape it. And this is kind of what you know got me interested, was that you can actually take these and you can push them out. They're like those little pop-it toys that you can fidget toys or whatever, the do nothing products kind of thing. You can pop these wells almost all the way out. So what you're when you're painting with your acrylic paint and that stuff gets really hard, like I don't know, this palette right here, this guy that we've been using on the show, this dude, yeah, this doesn't really do that very well. But it would be nice if it could, because you can see how many layers of paint we've gone through on the show. It's like its own little Picasso, or yeah, it's pretty abstract. Anyways, it would be nice if that palette did this, and so I thought I'd give these guys a try out. These are their smaller size palettes, but I bought 2 of them just because I thought, oh, I can put them next to each other. I can take them apart, have my lights and my darks or whatever I want to do. So I got 2 of their smaller ones. A little pricey. It was a little bit pricey, I'm not gonna lie. These are pretty small. Again, like, I mean, I got some. This is a baseball glove, or like my hand is like a baseball with hot dogs attached to it. I got a meaty hand. For reference, for some of you super modelers out there, this is a bottle of Testers. I think that's a pretty decent scale for us painters out there. For those of the uninitiated, I will try and find me something a bit more relative. What else do I have that might be relative that people would know the scale of fairly easily? Well, I mean, we've got GW pots. A lot of people who are into that might have an idea of how big that is. Man, I am a nerd because I don't really have anything super common. Oh, I've got a bag of dice. I got a bag of dice. We could do some scale. We could do a scale for that. A dollar bill would be ideal, but all my cash is upstairs. Let's see here. This is yeah, okay. This is a pretty standard size D6. Just your run-of-the-mill D6 compared to that bad boy. Basically the inkwell is about the size of a D6. Or the paint well is about the same size. These are very small, is kind of my point. This is the world's smallest keyboard. Yeah, it's very small. But that also has its own advantages. I would say that has its own advantages in the fact that it would be very easy to transport that sucker, which is kind of another reason why I picked it up, because when I go to Claricon, I'm going to need things that are easily packable and ready to go with me all the way to Canada, where I can drink my milk from a bag and enjoy Labatt's right from the home country, or at least I believe it's the home country. All right. Is it Labatt's? Man, I need to read up on my Canadian beers. It's been a while. That's a pretty bad domestic brand for Canada, but they've got better stuff up there. It's good. Adam Savage from Mythbusters already did a build with that bucket. Yeet. All right. I dig it. Well, without further ado, I'm going to get some tunes rolling. We're going to get into our work on these dwarves for tonight. We can chit-chat along the way. Road March, how you doing, Road March? I was just getting done with a bit of a review of the Turbo Dork silicone painting palette. Isn't that cool? It does this the squishies, and you know, once your paint dries, you're supposed to be able to just kind of like do this, and the paint will flake off, leave you with a nice surface. Yeah, it's cool. So we're gonna be using these tonight to paint our dwarves because I just got them in. And I was like, okay, let's use them. Let's use them. All right. We got 3 live chat lounge cats in the studio tonight. I hope everybody's doing well. Wow, you have not gone through a ton of process yet. Let's see. I'm just checking these guys out, seeing where they're at. I have not laid mine eyes on them recently. You got a little bit of silver on you. Okay. This guy is pretty close to... He's doing well. Just taking a quick little inspection to see where some of these guys are standing on the good old paint process. It looks like we've got a good majority of them have some form of detail running on them. So we're getting there. We're getting there. This one's pretty far along. This guy's pretty much close to completion right here. Yeah, this guy's looking pretty good. So this guy's kind of going to be our reference model for the other things we do. At least for now. Okay. So we're gonna need, I think we're gonna need this burnt orange because all of these guys kind of have this cool burnt orange trim going on with them. So I think we'll probably just start off with some trim work. I'm gonna get some paint on the shaker and we'll get to painting. So how's everybody doing? What's been going on in your hobby world? Let me know. It'd be interesting to see what folks are up to these days when it comes to their hobby. I'm still a little bit over the moon about the response to James's stream last night between the players and everybody that was watching. What a fun time that was. That was a lot of fun. We had so many players. There were so many people that were eager to play playing his game, and they were, you know, and eager to play live, which is, you know, not everybody wants to do that. And so I'm really thankful for everybody out there that was a part of that. I'm so excited. We're gonna have so much fun in the coming weeks. So no beer on a school night, asks Road March. Yeah, unfortunately, no beer on a school night. For now, for now, I gotta drop some more pounds before I can slide my way back onto that gravy train. I've been trying to keep it real light. Um, I've been working with I think a lot of folks know anyways. I've been working with uh, Kyle Shawant over at the Dungeon Delver. Runs a physical training business and he's got some experience in it. And so I hired him to help me out with getting some physical fitness training in for the CPAT test that I'm hoping to take later on this year. The firefighter's physical agility test, essentially. In hopes that I can go and test for the fire department in my hometown, which would be exceptional in my mind. Be able to work at the same department that my dad did, and so that would be pretty great. But that also means that I gotta drop some pounds. So we're taking it easy for now. But boy, do I miss it. It's yeah. So the palette is behaving quite nice. It's got these edges are really sharp, like, so you can do all kinds of shenanigans, like, you know, wiping your brush off before you hit the model and whatnot. I am really, since you brought it up, I have kind of been craving like a good Guinness. Man, I want a Guinness right now. Would be great. Road March, do you think you could drive over here and just like toss me a Guinness? Be a pal? I could really go for a Guinness. Oh man. That creamy dark beer is the bane of my existence, I'm telling you. Why don't we get you guys up in here? You can check out this mini we're doing up. Where's our test piece here? Or our I think it's you. Yeah. Okay. Just a little bit of accent, I guess, on the back somewhere here. We'll do some outlines on the shoulders maybe first. I'm just going to take a hot guess at where the trim lines are on this. It's kind of folded into itself. It's a little hard to explain exactly what's going on with this, but it's a little bit just, yeah, kind of folded into itself. So I did see, hey, what's going on, Calvinoni, the one and only? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. We're doing up some armor trim here. As I kind of float this bad boy around the shot. Sorry about that, everybody. Going back to Dungeon Delver's interview, totally understandable. Go watch and enjoy, friend. And if we're still around and you're still looking for something to watch, come on back. But yeah, definitely go check that out. He's got some cool folks that stop by. That's for sure. Keck's D6 system seemed a lot better than the old TSR Boot Hill. He's got some pretty well thought out stuff, that's for sure. He has quite the passion for this game design thing, and it shows. He does take time to be pretty deliberate on his stuff. And I guess that also kind of leaves the door open for him too. You know, he doesn't really have to do a lot of revisions to his games either, because they're pretty well thought out, which is nice. On top of that, you know, there's a Discord to talk to the creator of this thing too. So if you do decide you want to take the plunge into trying out one of his games for yourself, you've got support from the guy who made it. Like, he will gladly answer your questions and walk you through what you want to do. Or, you know, whatever questions you have about it. In other news, like actual news that's related to miniatures, I did see that Mantic dropped their trailer for the Halo skirmish game that they've been working with 343 Industries and Microsoft with. And Halo is pretty near and dear to me because it was like one of the first big boy video games I think I ever played. Was the original Halo on the giant black Xbox. And I got a copy of that game and an Xbox for Christmas like a year, I think, or so later. And I could not put that sucker down. I must have played through Halo 1 like 23 times. It was insane. Just how many times I played through that game. And I wouldn't have it any other way. I had so much fun. It was my jam back in the day. Big old CRT monster TV playing in low definition. I can if I had a little cabin in the woods, I'd put a CRT, a classic Xbox with like Halo 1 in there and a couple other games, and I would be one happy camper. You wouldn't hear from me for like weeks on end. But yeah, they put out a trailer for their miniatures line that's apparently coming with more news in the current more news in the next about month, I believe. It's like April, I think they said they were going to release more news. What game is he running next week? Not sure, to be honest. We're still just kind of taking a second to debrief from our most recent session here last night, and just take a quick second to see what we liked, what we didn't like, what we want to continue doing, and just kind of nail down the flow of things so that it, you know, things move and we can all enjoy ourselves and get out a reasonable hour, blah 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 blah. Just kind of making it so that it's a pleasant experience to watch too. We have 5 live chat lounge cats. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, we had somebody from Twitch watching last night too. I was kind of happy about that. I haven't seen a lot of people viewing from Twitch. I put it up there, but we did have somebody who was watching for like the whole game last night on Twitch. Never saw a chat from them though. And then I haven't really seen anybody from X/Twitter, but that's no problem. Did we do? No, we did not. Okay, we haven't really done their skirts. Okay, there we go. Or whatever, I guess they're tabards. I don't know what you would call this. Something similar to that, I would assume. So I think maybe a little bit later, once I get through some of this guy's outlines here, we'll go ahead and pop on over to the ye olde YouTubes, and we'll go and check out that Mantic trailer, because I am super hyped about it. I think these models that they've got are like in 28 mil scale, which is perfect because that's basically what we're working with right here. And it makes my life just so much easier to work in 28 as opposed to something like 15 or, you know, even lower, because trying to paint any kind of detail on those tiny models is really, really difficult. Honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm really into wargaming and, you know, doing miniatures for Dungeons and Dragons and such, I would probably be looking at like artist sculpts of 36 or higher, you know, mil scale, just because it does get even easier to paint then, and you can do better details on there, make things much more contrasty, or go and do shades and transitions in those areas with the brushes that you already commonly use, like a number 3 to a number 6. And usually the like number 3 is my go-to brush at 28 mil. Number 3 would be like getting into a detail brush on a 36 plus. And that's all nerd speak for it would be a bigger model, so it's easier to look at and paint. Okay. Evolution of Gaming is back in the house. Hello, Evolution of Gaming. Yeah, like I said, Mantic is I guess they've been working with Microsoft on some stuff with Halo regarding 28 mil models and doing something. It seems like they're gonna try and transfer over some mechanics of the multiplayer. So it seems like this is gonna be a skirmish game, kind of kill team-esque, you know, low model count, fast pace, heavy hitting on the dice, and I think that's kind of what they're going for. I may as well just do it now because I kind of just want to rewatch the trailer myself. So give me a quick second here while I pop open a new tab, and we're gonna check out this little trailer here because I think it's kind of cool. I have a hard time not like just drooling over models and plastic crack in general. Yeah, okay, so they're calling this game, I'm gonna just dump the music here real quick. So they're calling this game Halo Flashpoint, and from what I remember in their announcement, let's see if I can actually pull that up and read it to you verbatim. Because I would rather do that. All right, Halo Flashpoint. All right, here we go. Let's check it out. Share the screen. All right. All right, here we are, friends. I'm gonna do this. Now. All right. So here we go. This is right from Mantic themselves. This was near Christmas time that I found out about this. But I'll read you through this real quick. Today, UK-based tabletop studio Mantic Games announces a partnership with 343 Industries to launch a brand new Halo miniatures combat game. Launching directly to retail in September 2024, Halo fans can eagerly look forward to amazing Spartan miniatures that bring Halo multiplayer battles to life in an expertly crafted team combat game experience for tabletop newcomers and veterans alike. We are thrilled to team up with Mantic Games to bring a new Halo tabletop game to fans in 2024, said John Friend, head of Halo and Xbox customer products. Mantic is a leader in tabletop gaming, and their quality and experience shows through all their work. I'm most excited in this case about their passion for the Halo franchise and bringing a Halo gameplay to tabletop gaming in an incredibly authentic way. We're extremely excited to be partnering with 343 Studios to bring Halo to tabletops everywhere, said Ronnie Renton, CEO and founder of Mantic Games. Having a firefight play out on the tabletop while moving Spartans in and out of cover connects players with the action in a new and special way. We have a thrilling and competitive game with a passionate team of talented sculptors, artists, and designers who have been building an incredible Halo experience. Mantic Games and 343 Industries will be pulling back the curtain soon on this exciting new addition to the Halo universe. Halo and miniature gaming fans around the world can expect their first preview of the new game in March 2024. So that was the original release statement there from Mantic, and then they followed up with this teaser trailer. I hope the audio is going to come through. I'm not sure if it will. Oh, this was because I already watched it. What do you know? All right. So there you have it. We'll just go and get a quick, get a couple of quick little pictures up there. These sculpts look pretty good. It looks pretty true to what they've got on the screen as in terms of I guess Halo Infinite. I didn't see any armors that were like recognizable from any of the old school Halo games. This seems pretty centric to the new Halo Infinite game that they have out there. But the sculpts look good. This seems pretty on par with these dwarves by quite a bit, and I'm kind of all for it. You can see it's not totally like it's pretty close. The weapon designs, it seems like they've modified a couple of them to kind of fit the scale a bit better, and as well as the machining technology I'm sure that they have on hand. But it's looking good. It's looking good. I'm kind of excited for it. I'll give it a try. I'm willing to throw down on some Halo models from Mantic. We don't have any word on what the price point is for this, how any of the mechanics work for the game whatsoever. But we do have these glorious, juicy shots from them to kind of Google over until they release some more information. So there we have it. That's Mantic's addition to the Halo universe. I am also, too, hoping that it doesn't suck. I'd really like to see a Halo game on the tabletop because that would be really cool. Apparently, there was a studio called Spartan Studios way back in the day that made a tabletop game for Halo, but it was like 15 mil, which was really tiny, and it was kind of more laid out, big wargaming style where it was supposed to be like a lot of miniatures and stuff. But yeah, I'm not I was I'm not even gonna go searching for those models. I'm sure a lot of them have kind of been uh, out there for quite a while, and I'm sure they're hard to get a hold of when it comes to actually playing that game, all the materials you need to do that. But I'm excited for this one. I've got some really big plans for when it does come out. I'd like to see what the, mechanics of it are and play just a real simple um kind of version of it with the just some random objects as terrain and cover, and then kind of go all out with the terrain build on it and do some kind of really cool Halo map to play on. Maybe like Blood Gulch or something like that. One of the original Halo maps or something fun. We'd figure out something cool. We could do Valhalla or heck, maybe even make our own custom one. All right. But back to our dwarves here. Just looking for little bits and pieces I can kind of pick out and trim away on. There we go, right back into the shot. I'm gonna get some tunes going here. So we'll have to see how that turns out. I will be awaiting with bated breath over that one. So this guy's kind of got this star thing going on. I think we're gonna... Yeah, I think we're probably gonna do a lot of that in silver. Alright. Should probably get some brown. A lot of these guys have their kind of kilt... Well, leather tabards. Keep using that term in so many of the ways that it shouldn't be, but yeah, these little brown bits right here. I'm gonna have to do those up at some point. So I got in touch with TJ the other night. He is ready and willing to send out some snaggletooth action. That's the name for his beholder. I finally got it right for the first time for once. So I'm excited about that. I told him I should be getting close to finished with this project come the next week or two here, or at least I'm hoping. So be ready to send it soon. We can get to work on that. Because I think that would be a fun paint, an old school beholder. It's looking so far so good on these guys. I'm happy to say that the orcs are done. You know, they're basically ready to be sealed at this point, and I think I just have to make the time to get that done because we have an entire dragon to seal as well with some varnish and just protect that paint. So I'm probably gonna make a project out of that and just do it up. Maybe on the weekend here, I'm not sure. Have to see what happens. I've also been thinking about the hey, how's it going? How's it going, Sapphire? It's good to see you, Kanek. Welcome. Appreciate the drive through, as always. It was fun playing with you last night. Had a great time. I'm already looking forward to next week's. We are still plugging away on Cal's Dwarves. But we're getting very close to the finish line. I am happy to report that. I sent off your certificate of authenticity the other night. Was that just like 2 nights ago, I think? Yeah. So hopefully it should be in your hands very soon. I've also been thinking about, can't remember exactly who brought it up, but the 24-hour model challenge, 24-hour painting challenge, and trying to figure that one out. That's a doozy. My schedule has booked up quite quickly as of recently, but I am thinking about when to put that on the books. The other challenge was the speed painting challenge. How long, timing myself to see what how long it would take to do a quickly painted tabletop model versus how long it takes me to kind of do a I guess a show standard model, or I guess, you know, to my standard. I am not 100% take donations for charity on the 24-hour show. That is potentially. I don't know. I'll have to look into that one. See how that can be done. I can't even do any of like the super chat stuff yet because YouTube has that behind a subscriber wall. You have to be at least 500 to be able to monetize your channel like that, unfortunately. So I just keep kind of trucking along here, and whenever that happens, it'll happen. But I'd have to figure out some way for people to do that on like a third-party platform, and then figure out how to get it all connected up with the stream and generate the links and such. So I'm not 100% sure on how I would do that. It's a good idea, though. Post a GoFundMe? Huh. Now that's an idea. Potentially. I think it would be kind of fun to maybe get some other channels involved in that. Maybe give that a little bit more time to brew, and then bring some other channels on board, and have a group 24-hour session of just a bunch of painters from the community, because I think I can name a couple that would probably be interested in doing that as a charity thing for sure. I think they'd do it just for fun if I asked them, to be honest, but we could get a couple of friends in here. Luckily, Cal has provided us with plenty of models to paint for something like that, an event such as that. Not as dwarves and orcs, I mean, but like he sent us an entire box of creatures as a trade for the work on his dwarves, which I am quite grateful for. Has your daughter been able to play with Alex there, Sapphire? Just out of curiosity. Always fun to throw a brand new mini down on the tabletop. Not yet. Cool beans. That reminds me, I still have to throw D and Disabilities channel links in that Discord, or channel links in the description of that video. I have not gotten around to that today yet. Alright. Got some nice pretty orange trim going. Going to Gary Con. That reminds me, I gotta start looking into stuff for an October visit to the land of Dungeon Minister. Looking at dates out there and for hotels and such. You know what they say, the early bird gets the worm, and I plan to be an early bird. All right, sounds good. Take it easy out there, connect, and have a great night. All right. We got 5 lounge chat, live cat. Oh gosh, my brain is weeping. 5 live chat lounge cats out there in the studio tonight. Just kind of getting them all into uniform shape here. That's looking pretty snazzy right there. I think we're gonna switch over to some metallics. We'll start doing some other trim around their helmets and just other little areas that could be hit up with some metallic paint. Again, kind of using this guy as our reference on what we're going to be using our colors for tonight. The orange, the silver, the blue. So all right, let's find some silver. I think I have some over here somewhere. Grays, white gold, silver. Here we are. I'm gonna be using Pro Acryl silver, good old Pro Acryl silver, I should say. I'm gonna put this on the paint shaker. I'll be right back. You know, I gotta say, whenever Dungeon Minister pops in and says he's deep in the trenches of editing another episode of his recaps, I get a little excited. I just gotta. You can't beat it. It's always a good time when he comes in and says something like that. Hey, welcome to the, welcome to Paint Minis Live. There's the Scrub Sapien? I think that's how you'd pronounce that. Correct me if I'm wrong. But, yeah, these guys are from, Mantic Games. Cal sent them to us. He's in the live chat just below you there. But yeah, these guys are from Mantic. And they're turning out so far so good. Gotcha, Scrub Sapien. Well, welcome. And yeah, this is what we do around here. We talk a lot of nerd shop, paint some models, done all kinds of models, to be honest. We've done vintage models. We've done we're doing up some dwarves, like I said, for Cal here. He's got a really extensive collection of miniatures. 28 to 32, I believe, is his collecting range, and he's got thousands of them. So I get the honor of having a little bit of my handiwork in his displays. So I'm really excited to be working on this. We have 7 live chat lounge cats. Welcome. Don't be shy. Alright. So I think this guy was kind of next in line here. Just gonna go ahead and get my silver all nice and mixed. Trying out these Turbo Dork silicone palettes. I just got these from Turbo Dork in recently here. And so far I'm liking them. They do hold their shape really well. Let's see here. Let's start with this guy on the helmet. He's got some kind of like cool, I think this is some kind of animal skull sculpt going on. Let's pick that out. So say, Scrub Sapien, what's your poison when it comes to hobby? You into minis? Are you into roleplay? What's your jam there, friend? I can't wait to wash these guys, because that's when a lot of these fun little details start coming out of the woodwork. So I'm kind of looking forward to that step. We've been on the grind when it comes to getting all the colors down and things of that nature. But I personally am kind of just waiting for that wash step. Ooh, Death Guard Terminators. I dig it. Do I have my Death Guard guys down here? So I do. We did these up live on the show. This was some of our like really early episodes. We did some Death Guard. I've got some older Death Guard Terminators that kind of need repainting because they were from a long time ago, but this is the kind of stuff we ended up with that we did on stream. Was these Death Guard boys. My favorite is the Belly Mouth. This guy turned out pretty epic. I think there's a couple other things I'd like to do with them, to be honest, in the future, but that's just what we did on stream. This is, these are some of the older Death Guard Terminators that I've got. These were from quite a while ago. And then some good old Poxwalkers. These ones we did quite early on in the show's history too. So yeah, we dig us some 40k around here. We dig us some Halo. We dig us some Dwarves and roleplay. We're into all kinds. Cal's painting up some demons and rats. Michael Mertig, hello, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. The Dwarves are coming along. We're currently working on some of the more sparser models that we haven't put all of the colors on quite yet, but we're working our way there. We're getting there slowly but surely. I am curious about that too. I would love to know who the Dwarves are gonna battle their Cal. Hey, thanks. Appreciate it, Scrub. Sapien. Okay. Cool beans, cool beans. I dig it. I think this silver needs just a little bit more thinning down. There we go. Now we're talking. That might have been just a hair thin. That's maybe just a little too thin. Alright. Nothing that we can't solve with just a little extra drop of paint. We only need about a 1. It should thicken us right back up. It's like a sauce. We're making a sauce. Gotta thicken that sauce with a little extra paint. I don't know. Do you guys think Emerald would be proud of me? No? Probably not. I understand. It's kind of crazy how just a little, like, We're talking just drops of stuff here. Like a drop of water will change the consistency of this by so much. Oh yeah, that's right. The PML Discord. Which I am forever trying to send invites out for, since Discord never likes to play nice with and leave invite links that are longer than like a week, even though you set them to be longer than a week. But I will make sure to put out another Discord invite shootout in a community post if you would care to join us there, Scrub Sapien. We have a lot of fun folks in there with a ton of different interests. Kind of a hodgepodge of creators and hobbyists alike that are into so many different things. I think we've got a comic book collector who likes to roll on by collecting chaos, and collecting chaos is super knowledgeable on comic books. I've seen a couple of his videos that he's posted out there to the world, and he's got some cool stuff. He does. He's really into that retro stuff. Hey, how's it going? Go for it, painting. Good to see you. Good to see you. Speaking of Discord, I'd like to I keep seeing some folks popping up. I saw some folks popping up in the Discord that were creators. I was curious. Go for it, painting. Are you around YouTube here, or because a couple of our members are more like located in places like Twitter or Instagram. I think I've seen a couple of folks from around the PML Discord that are kind of focused elsewhere. Are you around the YouTubes here too? Nice. Awesome. Well, I'm excited to have you in their evolution of gaming. How do you decide what colors to use? Sometimes it's gut feeling. Most of the time, well, more recently, it's been a lot of color wheel combos that I've kind of been checking out. I've been enjoying that. I think I've brought up the color wheel here a couple of times on the show. I'll show you here how to use it real quick. Let's check it out. Share screen. Here we go. Bloop. All right. So, little color wheel theory for you. So this is going to be a complementary, or like two, it'd be like a diametric kind of color theory. So two opposite colors on the opposite ends of the spectrum Both look very pleasing to the eye. Blue and yellow is pretty common for, like, you know, ultramarines, space marines, or heroic characters like knights in shining armor and stuff. Purple and green, you got getting into the witchcraft zone. Red and blue is kind of where we're at. We're a bit more towards kind of this end of the spectrum, and that's kind of where I have the if you check out the models we're working on here, you'll kind of see that's the color scheme going on. Let me bring up and the stage here. So yeah, you can see here that's kind of the color scheme we're working off of. Is this it's nearing on green for the color. This is a color shift paint, so it goes from green to blue. And if you check out the color wheel, you'll see that this is our complementary colors right here. And I think it worked out pretty well together. You can also see on their it's a bit more obvious too on their kind of skirts here. That's kind of the color we're going for. We'll jump back to the color wheel here. For metallics, things like silver are going to be much closer to kind of the center of the color wheel, where it's basically grays. Same thing with like bronze and other colors like that. You can kind of put them in anywhere along this area, or like for bronze, I would go leaning a bit more towards this yellow brown area over here. And you can see the complementary colors: blue for a brown. You can get into other things like triadic color schemes, which all of these colors would complement each other depending on where you would spin them on the wheel. So if your main color is red, you'd throw in a little bit of green, a little bit of blue as your secondary and tertiary colors. You could go into purple brown, or like purple orange, and kind of aquamarine colors going on. Three-piece color schemes are they take a little bit longer to pull off, but they're real fun. And then you have the tetradic or four color schemes. In this one, you'll have probably your two main colors, so like a purple and a red. In this case, would be you'd lean very heavily on these for major parts of your model, and then your kind of green and blue would be you'd just kind of sprinkle those bad boys in various places, but they would all work in harmony together to kind of give you a nice result. And that's kind of what I went with here, was the red and blue color scheme, because blue is kind of our main color for these guys. And that's how you kind of nail down what kind of colors you'd like to use. You'd tell you to kick it up a notch. Bam! We gotta make these guys shine, all right? Bam! Tend to kind of use the flat end of my brush with little as I'm painting right off the screen. Yeah, I tend to kind of just very lightly get my brush to drag across some of these raised lines, and that's how you can get these very nice tight details out with a minimal amount of, it's like every project has some missed brush strokes and some places where you've got to kind of go back over and whatnot. What do you got going on? Okay, cool. You got silver on that. We'll put silver over here too. Gonna put another quick little layer over some of these little dealy bobs before we move on. Cool. Let's go back to this guy here. Got all kinds of bits going on with these guys. There's a ton of just little nooks and crannies that the eye catches on these models. They're very nice sculpts for sure. Bob Jester, welcome Bob Jester. Quality brushes that keep a tip nice and pointy, even gently cleaning them, letting them dry before use. Before using them again, etc. I mean, I hate to be the dude who is a one brand man, but like these Monument sable brushes, this one has outlasted like a ton of other brushes that I've used, like pretty well. I have a few sable brushes in my collection of a menagerie of brushes. Most of them are like, I mean, it is really cobbled together. It's, I think one of my relatives was into painting for a little bit, and I got like a ton of these brushes. Some of them were usable for models. Most of them were not, like a bunch of like watercolor brushes and stuff, but I have a various kind of collection of them going on. But I've really started to kind of gravitate towards the natural sable hair brushes. They've been my go-to so far. This number 3 sable brush has been my go-to, and to be honest, if you ask me, Bill, what is the one brush you would recommend for folks out there, it would be a number 3 round point, maybe not round. I think this is a round brush. Yeah, round number 3 sable brush. If you're willing to spend more, there's different kinds of sable. If you're willing to spend more, you can go ahead and grab yourself a like a Windsor. This is a Windsor Newton Cirrus series Kolinsky sable brush. This one kind of needs a deep clean, but it still, even when it's gunked like this, holds its point very well. It's got quite a nice texture and feel to it. But if you can get a hold of some Kolinsky sable brushes, those are the ones that are they're the good stuff. Regular sable hair brushes like this from Germany are wonderful, as well as, you know, your standard synthetic brushes. These guys are pretty good too. They have a nice point and feel to them as well. It's kind of another round tip. Got a little splay going on there, but that is another good option to go with. Is a nice synthetic brush. You'll know the price difference will tell you probably what you need to know when it comes to synthetics. It's been so long since I bought. I like the last kind of synthetic brushes that I bought was like, I think these, what are they? These are like Artist Loft or whatever, out of, yeah, Artist Loft's Vienna brushes. These were the last kind of like synthetic brushes that I got just from your standard stock hobby store. They're all right. I mean, they're good for having a brush to do the things a brush do, for sure. But highly recommend them sable brushes. You take good care of them. Get yourself some brush soap, or you know there's cheaper brush soaps out there. I have a thing of the Masters brush soap. It is kind of the pricey one, but like you can get brush soap from Monument 2 that I hear is pretty good. Alright, yeah, no. We're gonna need a much finer brush if we're gonna do rivets. I know. Oh, Dungeon Minister, you cheerleader, you. I appreciate that. Let's get this skull right here. I feel like this skull needs some silver action. We have 8 live chat lounge cats in the lounge tonight. Oh, what? Hold on. Did you get new minis? Father Aaron? Just out of curiosity, did you get some new minis and I haven't heard about it? Oh my. Cause if so, some tea must be spilt. Or was cause I know, I think, was it Shonuff that sent you some minis too? Like a little while back? I remember seeing something about that too. If so, I know about that one, but... Dealing on the down low. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright. So I am up to speed. Good. I'm happy to hear that I have managed to stay within the loop here. Good. It's funny, as you kind of get into your paint project, like my mind is really zoning into this as we're going here. Ooh. A little bit too enthusiastically, apparently. this really cool lattice work on their helmets. Yeah. It's like just the faintest amount of pressure will bring those details out. But you don't wanna overdo it. You just kind of wanna introduce it to the brush and say, hey, I think you would like this brush. This brush has many great personality characteristics that I think you the model could relish in, and then eventually just gingerly one hand is laid upon another during a late night drive-in movie, and somehow that's how you get that very nice fine lines that'll come out of your mini. Is that just that little ginger touch on there. It helps to have a fine point, but brush control has become really apparent to me that it is a skill of all of its own, especially with these guys where the details in the model, it's pretty pronounced. Like, I mean, it's not too hard to pick out where the details are, but like when they are so close together and the spacing between them is really close, that brush control really is coming in handy. And even though sometimes I'm having a bit of a hard time with it tonight, because I think I'm maybe just a little sleepy from our late night gaming session the other night, and I can tell because I'm not quite as steady as I want to be. It's strange. It's strange. Painting is a strange game. It's all just, you know, tips and tricks. If you're just looking to get something on the tabletop, by all means, just get something on the tabletop. These guys are gonna look good if you just, you know, follow a complementary color scheme and you know, take a little bit of time to do it, but you don't have to go this crazy on some of the details and such. You really don't. But if you're kind of trying to pull off some really intricate stuff, having a good night's rest is pretty handy. It'll really steady your grip. Let's check on the chat, see what everybody's talking about. Cursebreaker. Now that sounds interesting. Oh dear, Cal, you might have to spill the beans on that one. That sounds like a lot of fun. All I want to do is faff about in the north. So, unfortunately, since the laser is out of commission right now, awaiting a new tube from the manufacturer, more like awaiting my bank account to recover from so many things involving PML. However, I need to get another tube for the laser, and so I was hoping to send something out to Cal, special from the shop there. But I've come up with a little bit of an alternative because I don't think those two things are going to line up necessarily. I'm going to be sending Cal a certificate of authenticity, I think. Sapphire had kind of brought up a point with her model. She requested one, and I thought that was a pretty good idea. I don't know if my stuff's gonna be valuable in the future or not. Who knows? I'm not really in it for that, but if folks would like it, I'm willing to do it, and I think I'm gonna send Cal one just out of just for him, just to have. oh, never. I understand, Michael. I gotta give him a little bit of a you know, a hard time every now and then. Oh, that sounds cool. Okay, that sounds cool. I'm not gonna lie, that sounds cool. My eyes are starting to go on me a little bit. Ooh. Yeah, midnight gaming session is starting to hit. How about you there, Bob Jester, Father Aaron? How did you guys fare today? I do appreciate it for everybody sticking out, man. What a group of troopers, really. What a group of troopers. But I'm hoping next time we'll start maybe a little bit earlier, or figure out a way we can kind of regulate that out a little bit. But oh boy, was it a good time. And plus, I honestly think James and his work should really get put out there, because dude has some cool games. I'm excited to show when we get around to it. I don't know exactly when it's going to be, but I'm really excited to show everybody Dreamweaver, because it is just a really cool concept. Oh, that's cool. The game can be made, or just purchase a 2x2 gaming mat and a couple terrain pieces. Cool beans. Creature features. They show movies on Friday, Saturday with a live host and a cast and funny stuff. Okay, all right. I dig it. Is it kind of mystery theater 2000 or 3000? I can't remember the exact number, but like mystery theater style grumblings, because I'm definitely down for that. Oh my god, some good old mystery theater is my jam. All right, yeah, I think that's about as much as my eyes are gonna take tonight. I'm sorry, it's just I've been doing deliveries on the road with work, and it's a very small family company, you know, and our other delivery driver is currently out this week. He's welcoming home one of his friends who is in the Marines and spending some time with him after being away for a while. And so I'm covering for him. So I'm pulling double duty, and the sun today was just constantly sitting in my eyes, and it was not a lot of fun. But so I think I'm just gonna stop there for my own health. We'll hang out and chat for a little bit here before we wrap up. But I think I'm gonna call that good. We'll do a little, some close-up shots of the work we did tonight. Again, we're getting pretty close on this project. There's a lot of detail on these minis, but I'm gonna have these for another like 4 months if I do all of it. And I think if I can just pick out a few more key areas on these models, and maybe brainstorm another color or two to kind of spice it up, I think these will turn out to be wonderful minis. And I mean, they're getting pretty close, but they do need a little something. They need another color in there, I think, somewheres that isn't super detail oriented. So I'm gonna do a little brainstorming on that. Maybe I'll instead of it might be their weapons, especially this guy's like axe and stuff. I thought, their armor would probably be made out of the same kind of metal as their weapons, but I'm thinking maybe their weapons are going to be another point that catches the eye. Just like the shield here, it's kind of cool to have this this green purple transition, or green and blue transition, and then the silver and the kind of white gold going on there. That's very catching in the eye. We'll probably end up doing something similar with the with their swords or something, kind of just to break it up a little bit, because a lot of these guys, they do look good, but they're also they just need that zhuzh, the chutzpah. They need something going on with them to really make them pop out, and to thank Cal for the opportunity to paint some of his models. You got magnifiers on. Oh, yeah, okay. I know what I'm going to Micro Center for next. I bet those electronics magnifiers would work great. Wow, I am very... Okay, gotcha. Wow, yeah. All right. Yeah, I was only up for like about an hour after the stream ended. So yeah, you were all right. You're really going hard in the paint there, Dungeon Minister. All right. Ooh, fun. Older show on network TV way back. Okay. All right. I'm down. I'm going to go check into it. And you had the right end of the stick there, Bob Jester. You did. We're in Central Time Zone there, Sapien. Yeah, it's about 10:20 for me. Oh my god. I see how it is, Cal. Oh boy. I'll pick more bland models next time. No, it's good, man. It's good. I just want to make sure I make something ultra special for you. I mean, it's not every day somebody's like, hey, you got a large collection of models, it'd be great, send me a bunch of them. And then somebody actually does, It's not every day that stuff like this happens, and that's important. You know, I want to make sure that I make something very nice and something that you'll really enjoy. Although it sounds like you're trying to do up more guys in the same style, so I wish you well on it. But no, it's nothing like that. It's just it's my perfectionist brain talking, I guess, a little bit. Little too uniform for Chaos Dwarves, but they look great. That's definitely a good point. They are Chaos. I'll have to keep that in mind. That is a good point. Not all of them should look equal. I think if I was gonna do this again, I think I would go super grunge with it. But I like where these are headed. I think it, you know, it's just a couple extra little bits, just little bits. Because I've had these for like 4 months and they need to go back to Cal. They just do. Cool. Did we roll up characters? Some of us did, some of us did not. I did not. I was working on just trying to make sure everything here would work with the technology side over the previous days. So I did not roll up a character. I requested a pre-gen from James, and he gladly obliged because he's got some pre-gens in his book. Very nice. Very nice. Do you have stats, for example? Yeah, let me show you. I'll show you what my character sheet looks like. Again, support James if you can. Paint Minis Live, just well, I don't know how much I want to give away. I'm gonna stop sharing, share screen. Okay, cool beans. All right, let's check out. So this is the Blazing Sixes character sheet. Let's make it big. Make it big so people on all the devices can see. Okay, yeah, so this is a Blazing Sixes character sheet. A lot of James's stuff is this form fillable PDF, and it just makes everything a breeze. So as you can see, there's Reckoning, which is kind of your how well you can think a thought, awareness, reflexes, physique, and then a bunch of other skills that could, you could call upon or, liken to whatever you're trying to do in the game. There's kind of your health down here. You've got brawling and other such stats, how well you just fight at a, in a standard kind of bar fight behavior, how fast you move, your kind of weapons. So that's a pistol, that's a sharp object, and the ranges, damages, all that, all the little crunchy stuff in there, as well as, notes section with who this guy is. And then you've got a horse. You've got some stats for your horse, pretty basic stuff. I mean, none of this is super complicated. It's very much so a pick up and play kind of game when it comes to a lot of James's systems, which I very much so enjoy. Yeah. I'd say yeah, it's different than D&D. It's just yeah, it's a 2d6 kind of system. It's fun. It's a good time. Yeah, I tend to do that with a lot of other folks on YouTube, you know, that do the streaming thing or the long form video stuff. I tend to just watch their stuff in like increments or when I'm working. If you're looking for another person that's got some kind of cool fantasy content out there, there's an author named Lightmane out there. It's spelled just the way it sounds, Lightmane. Lightmane, and Lightmane has been working on a D&D novel that it's written in such a feel that it's almost like a recap, as well as a novel kind of hybridized. It's great. I really love listening to that when I'm at work doing deliveries. I haven't listened to it in a little while since there's been a couple of new 40K books that I've been listening to in the van, but I made it through quite a few chapters of the first book. He's got 2 that are he reads them out to you. It's audiobook style. So if you're looking for something that's kind of fun and free, and you know, you can go and check out Lightmane. He's always happy to hear comments and whatnot, and have new people come and listen to his works. Yeah. So I'm gonna put my other camera back on screen. So this is that silicone palette. This is one without any paint on it. As you can see, it's squishy, ooshy, moldable. I mean, it still keeps its shape. Pretty. Pardon me. It still keeps its shape very well, but it is quite the flexible palette. So I'm just gonna see what this is a pretty thin layer of paint. You can see how white it is behind it. You know, this isn't as dirty as this bad boy. You know, there's a sizable difference between what you see here and what you see here, but I just wanted to see what happens if you pop this little nugget out. Oh, that's cool. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's take our very nice models. We'll move them out of the way here. Let's think this through before we make a mistake, and we'll put down like a little wipe to catch the debris, I guess. Before we do that, okay. Now, I think... Where's the palette from? Are you asking there, Cal? The palette is from Turbo Dork. The same people who made the color shift paint that I've got on the Dwarves made these palettes. You kind of see their embossment on their Turbo Dork. But anywho, that's the paint company, and they make these silicone palettes, and yeah, you can just kind of. That is wild. I'm in love. I'm in love, folks. Sarah, I am so sorry, but I think I am a bit of a smitten kitten here. And you can just take your finger and just work it right the heck out of there? What? No way. This is like no water. You don't even have to wash. Look at that. It's just gone. It is that. This is what came out of there. It's just that's all the paint right there. I am. Okay. All right. Well, I know I'll probably end up buying a couple. They have a larger size of this. It's like 2 of these bad boys together with a kind of mixing bridge in the middle of it. So it's like this, and then they've kind of got just a square indent in the middle, so you can put a drop and a drop and a drop and do like a lot of paint mixing in the middle. But these smaller ones, they're cheaper. They're really portable. You could just put these in a backpack with, you know, your like your bottle of paint and one of Cal's Abyssal Dwarves or whatever, and you could like sandwich these guys as a protective layer, you know, kind of this one's still got wet paint in it, but you could sandwich that together and then stick, you know, we'll put a little brush cap on it because we're gonna put it in a backpack, but you know, it's the wrong size brush cap. What am I doing? But you could put your paintbrush, your palette, and a couple bottles of paint with you, and when you're at work, you could just be like, okay, I'm gonna just do this trim up real quick now that I'm done with my sandwich, and paint. Okay, that's great. Sounds cool. Bring it, you know, and you've progressed on your project in just like, well, you're at work doing lunch. Like that is pretty nuts. And there's no water required for cleanup, so all you'd need is just a really small amount, like just for your brush and enough to get your paint thinned, and you're good. Like that is pretty cool stuff. Wow. All right, I'm sold. I am so sold. And it just comes out this piece of acrylic paint. Like that's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. Wait, we can paint out. You can paint anywhere. The world is your oyster. Paint everywhere. You know, Dungeon Minister, anywhere you could pray, you could paint a mini. You know, that would be my philosophy. I paint everywhere. I've painted at work. I've painted, and it's just, you know, little steps at a time on a project, you know, and it's all just for personal fun and, you know, keep my head clear and whatnot. So don't tell the bishop, he says. These are water-based acrylic paints. They're Bob Jester. Oh, that is the other thing. Big disclaimer. For the love of the Lord, don't use oil paints on here or solvent-based paints. Don't use enamels. Just use plain old water-based acrylics. Don't use anything else on here. You can use these shades or whatever from G-Dubs. You could use the shades from Monument Hobbies, the acrylic water-based blended ones. But don't use don't use these tester pots that are very flammable and whatnot, that have these solvents in them. I do not have my streaking grime out, it would appear, but don't use stuff like streaking grime or AK Interactive stuff. Yeah, I wouldn't use these white spirits or streaking grime in this palette. It will melt the silicone, and you'll end up with a mess. It'll just melt it down into a puddle. So don't use anything solvent based with those ones. Can't pay on a sprayer for bugs on minis. Gotcha. There you go. Okay, gotcha. I guess I wouldn't argue that point. Okay, and Bob Jester used testers. Okay. Are you really into that like enamel look? I mean, I kind of like the enamel look. Do I have... I don't think I have my Terminators down here, but I had a guy at one point that I did some enamel work on. But I don't really... I just found that it was a bit harder to clean up wasn't really my thing, but I know that like a lot of folks who started with enamel, they don't really they like to just stick with enamel, which is good. But I sometimes have a, you know, I'm not really always looking for that glossy finish on it. Enamel would work great for you use the flat ones. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I like Testers as a brand. You know, if you're looking for enamel and you're doing enamel stuff, you're doing car bodies, you're doing stuff like that. Like they're great. They're like they have, it's seriously top quality paint. It also commands top quality price too. But it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Just not my chosen media. I like the acrylics just mainly for the easy use. You know, that's kind of just my style. Or you have mismatched minis. Hey, if it works, it works, right? If it works, it works. That's my opinion. Yeah. Yeah, I hear you. Metallics, armor, weapons, coins, gems, jewelry. Yeah. I mean, I used to be like, I was not really into this like streaking grime stuff and like having to use the spirits for cleanup. I really wasn't, you know. I have a ton of these Testers paints and almost all of them are unopened. But I kept them around just because I was like, you know, one of these days I'm gonna find a project and I'm gonna be like, you know what would look really great on this? I think this is like a gloss red. Yeah, dark red gloss. That, you know, I think this would look really cool on something, and I'm just gonna put it on there. There's kind of some cool gloss blues and such. I probably would have pulled these out if it wasn't for the fact that this, like, these guys were going off to. I wanted to make sure that I had my skills in order. If it was just a personal mini, I probably would have put some of these colors on the treasure pile, especially the gloss ones for the treasure pile on the Grenadier Red Dragon project. But I still think it turned out quite well, regardless. But that probably would have been a project I would have done some Testers with and some other stuff. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that would explain some of that too. All right. Yeah, which is another kind of reason I've been digging the pro acryl stuff, is because there's a bead in there. They put a glass bead in every pot, just stock standard. They put a mixing bead in there, and it has changed my life and the way I look at things. I don't think I'll buy another thing of paint that I'm not going to put a mixing bead in. I'm definitely gonna do it. I'm gonna put a glass bead in those suckers because it is just quite convenient and very efficient to shake your paint with an agitator in it. But with that being said, I think I am going to depart here. Some more progress has been made on Cal's Dwarves. We have the orcs out of the way. They're taken care of. We've got them literally in the bag. They just need to be sealed and gotten ready to go back to Cal. I want to maybe put some matte varnish on it. Unless if you don't want any varnish on it, I'll leave them skinny if you want them just as is. But it's really easy to put a coat of varnish on it if that's fine with you, Cal. But I just varnish them up real quick and leave them out to dry overnight, and they're basically, it's a wrap there. The dwarves, we're almost done with them. Like I said, they kind of just need a little love on their weapons, and they'll probably be pretty good to go. There's a couple extra that are still primed, and we'll blast through those in a night. I'm pretty sure we'd blast through those pretty quick. So yeah, that was kind of my thought too. I'm gonna go with the, let's see here. Well, anywho, I've got a bottle of Vallejo matte varnish that I'm just gonna spray on it. Give them a double coat. You got it. We'll double coat them for you. But like I said, I'm gonna head out for tonight. Thank you everybody who has come and watched Paint Minis live tonight. Thank you to Cal Vanoni. Thank you to Bob Jester. Thank you to our good friend the Dungeon Minister. Thank you to Michael Murtag for stopping in. Thank you to the Scrub Sapien for joining us. I hope you've enjoyed yourself. I hope to see you back soon too, because I like to get to know a little bit of everybody around here. Thank you to, let's see, wasn't there, Road March was in here too, I believe. Thank you to Evolution of Gaming. I can't wait to see you in the Discord and interact with you there. Thank you to Sapphire and Robert Phillips for coming in and checking up with us. Yeah, I appreciate it. Be on the lookout for a Discord shotgun invite on the community side of things, since we've got some new folks who have come on in and showed some interest. We'll throw another Discord link out there for you. You can check it out in the community section on the channel. I'm Bill T. Have a great rest of your night. And we'll see you in the next Paint Minis Live.